Okay, so I've been following this for a little bit, and much to my and many of our disdain, Ferrania, the producer of a number of films and the company founded over 100 years ago, may be dead and gone as we know it. But hold on, let's rewind for a second. Back in April of 2023, the Ferrania Twitter page stopped posting after being quite active for a number of years. Shortly after, sometime this past year, their Facebook page got hacked and became some sort of Asian scam, and they seemingly never got it back or even created a new page. Despite this, as per someone on Potrio says that they had an actual email correspondence with them in September of this past year, and the notion was that they were slowing down on social posts to focus on more behind-the-scenes operations. It doesn't help that they would get consistent comments from people saying how they got scammed out of their $50 investments from a Kickstarter post from over 10 years ago, which, not saying they're not justified, just an observation. Also, according to Japanese Camera Hunter, their CEO actually left the company with some of the money, leaving the rest of the Ferrania team in shambles. I'll leave the timestamp video down in the description below if you want to check that out and hear it directly from the horse's mouth. But hearing this really sucks. Any company that was investing in the future of film, especially bringing out new film stocks, and from what I can tell, it sounded like there was a new color film that they were working on to hopefully bring out in the next couple of years. Yeah, them going under, or at least this level of non-responsiveness, is seemingly not a good sign for anyone. As of right now, if you visit their website, it's just a blank, dead-ended website with a link to their Italian website, which just never loads, which obviously is not a good sign. With that being said, this could all just be a kind of lost in translation mishap, as one Redditor suggested. Based on the message and the behavior of the site, I think it's just a misconfiguration of a new site. The Italian translates to roughly wait while you're being transferred to the new site, and then the link to the Italian version. But the Italian version redirects back to the .com version, which makes an infinite loop. The SSL certificate was also created just a few days ago, bolstering my theory that it's just a new site that isn't fully functional yet, and Ferrania hopefully isn't dead. With that being said, I've heard from a couple labs that they don't know when they're getting a new shipment of Ferrania film in, and this is especially true with their color P33, which seems to be sold out everywhere. Another thing of note, which I'll pull up and show you now, is that the link to P30 on their old site, because it's not accessible now as all the sub pages are broken, says that it is the very last production, which again is a pretty clear cut in my mind, but again, like people were saying, could totally be a translation error, and people were suggesting it actually meant something slightly different. Maybe it's a whole lot of nothing and simply coincidence and a little bit of speculation on my part, but I do think it is of note and something to take into consideration for the future. Especially if you like the film and want to potentially stock up on it, I think now is the time. I think for me, it would be beneficial for Ferrania to at least come out with some type of statement saying that they're not dead. I feel like this is kind of my attempt at poking their seemingly lifeless corpse to make sure that they are still with us. Okay, so a little update here as I've been editing it the last couple days. The website I can kind of access. Let me just show you. All right, so I can get to their product site, and honestly, I can kind of like explore around the rest of the site. It's a little slow, but if you click something, it'll bring you to this broken page, and then I can't get back to it without going back to one of these sub pages, which again is just kind of weird. Everything is sold out, which is not a great sign. And then when you click into Ferrania P30, but you can seemingly only purchase it if you're not in the United States, which I'm assuming you can only purchase it in Europe or Italy or whatever, which is not a great sign again. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, and if you think that Ferrania is dead, or if this is a big misunderstanding from me and a lot of the other film community. To me personally, I've never shot Ferrania, both the black and white and the color film, so I can't really speak on that. But I'm sure you know as well as I do that my stance on this is any new film, as long as it's within certain reason, obviously not a scam or anything, is good for the film community. At the end of the day, it's probably going to benefit somebody somewhere, whether that be me in the United States or someone across the world in China, Brazil, whatever it may be. Just try to think about that when you are thinking about some of these film companies and film stocks. It may not be for your specific market or part of the world. Otherwise, that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. There isn't a ton of news, and like I said, it was a little bit of speculation, but I think a lot of the info leading up to this and then the silence from them seems to be a little telling. So hopefully there'll be a video in the coming weeks telling you that Ferrania is coming out with a new film, not to worry, etc., etc. But until that, stay safe, stay shooting, guys. Adios.